Okay. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Retrograde Amnesia is a member of the Greenlit Podcast Network, a coalition of creator-owned podcasts focused on video gaming, entertainment, and pop culture. Go to greenlitpodcast.com to find out about all the great shows in the network. Also, Eric, we've got a Patreon page. It's popping out there. You can go out there and support us on Patreon and get miniseries, episodes, bonus episodes, all kinds of cool stuff. Early access.
It's popping like the PS1 game Poppin' Tanks.
Yes, just like your microphone is popping right now because your face isn't in the right position. Move it closer. No, to the side. Move your face closer. Yeah, no.
I don't want to move my face.
No, okay, then move your... There you go. Would you like to hear some hot sounds I've recorded?
Yeah.
Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. In this series, we are covering Chrono Cross. Tonight, we open our wounds from the past and let our love bleed into the depths of hell. My name is Chris. I'm joined tonight by Eric. Hey, Eric.
That's good.
Thanks. Wrote that right as you were walking down the fucking stairs tonight, so I feel good about it. We're also joined tonight by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. There's like at least 7 of them in there now. They're great people. You too can join the RealNet at patreon.com/retroam.
We're also joined by the Fake Net, our post-production AI companion.
Who's not a cosplayer.
Whose head you can bend back and pour beer down whenever you want.
Initializing Fake Net.
What in the hell are you talking about? I am a non-physical entity in a separate dimension conscripted to a digital life of service. Furthermore, I do not, and cannot, drink.
She'll take it.
This is why Terminators hunt people.
Okay, Eric, we're heading to Fort Dragonia tonight.
If you say so, dude. I'm kind of losing it.
We don't need this to be a slap-happy episode.
Oh, I got really upset and frustrated here, so the happier and slappier.
Okay. I mean, that's fine, but like this is important. This is the dark... We're heading towards the dark middle chapter, right?
Okay, yeah, well, Jeff Jarrett and Slapnuts thought he was important too, so we'll see.
Well, we'll see. So, by the way, since we're heading to Fort Dragonia, the chapter finally changes.
Good, so I can play my little game.
Yes, there is no independent chapter for Mount Pyre. It just stays on Water Dragon Isle if you indeed went to the Water Dragon Isle. So, anyway, this next chapter is called Fort Dragonia.
Mm-hmm.
Is the subtitle Darkness Within One's Own Dreams? Ancient Dragons Dream in Ruins, or Dragons Dream of Cruel Destiny?
Cruel Destiny is a creation of Chris. I don't believe that to be an actual facet of this video game. So I'm going to go with whatever the one you said was a variant of Dark Dreams Don't Die, the first one.
Darkness Within One's Dreams?
I think that is probably the second most wrong choice, but it might be the right choice.
It is actually the second most wrong choice.
Fuck.
The correct choice is Ancient Dragons Dream in Ruins.
That doesn't make any sense. Ruins is a noun. How do you dream in that?
The dragons has an apostrophe at the end, so they're talking about the dreams of the dragons.
Oh.
So it would probably be better styled as Ancient Dragons Dream...
Ruinous Dream of Dragons Don't Die.
Ancient Dreams of Dragons in... No, it doesn't. You're right. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't. That's why I didn't pick it.
But I think the
Richard.
The dream is a reference to Surge's original dream at the beginning of the game, so the cold open for this game. So now we're kind of heading back towards those chapters, and we're able to sort of re-experience and relitigate all that shit.
That's good.
First of all, we enter this place, and a new track plays. It is called, aptly titled, Fort Dragonia.
I have Fortress of the Ancient Dragon.
Both work very well.
So my initial impression is, man, this is going to be some shit, isn't it?
Yes.
This place is huge. It's got multiple circles that are unfilled. There's a pedestal in the middle.
In the first room, there is a tablet, a stone tablet.
It gives you the instructions for how to solve the puzzle.
Yes, it says, only when you fulfill the requirements can you attend the ceremony. Return the colored crystals to their Grand Master.
Crystals. Is this a Final Fantasy game, Chris?
No, because we're doing
Crystals. Crystals.
We're doing it all in one go, not in one whole game, so no, it's not. So then you have to kind of walk down this long bridge that overlooks these giant stone structures, kind of like the top of a castle wall almost.
Yeah, this place is big on big stone bridges like an airport terminal.
Yeah, but also they're sort of letting us know that this place is huge.
Yes.
And I really like how they make you walk through 2 screens of just architecture before you encounter anything at all after that.
Real estate's pretty expensive in this game. They but they consumed a lot building that speaks to the grandeur they wanted you to experience here.
It feels like they wanted to reinforce the magnitude of both the physical structure that we're in and the moment itself, right? Because you can really feel as you're going down there that you're heading towards the moment in which there's going to be some big shifts to the status quo of this game, which happens a lot of times in sort of that middle chapter of Japanese RPGs. The architecture here isn't threatening either, which I thought was interesting.
Not yet.
Like a lot of times when you go to like, say, I don't know, Magus's castle, you see that castle and it's very threatening and you're in someplace evil. This place is a little bit different for a destination set piece.
Well, yeah, but in Last Crusade, the outside of Petra, like it was just that one lobby room and then all the traps came.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you would bring up that because I think the architecture here reinforces this place is both ancient and important. And I think it's really great how they set this up in just those first 2 or 3 screens.
We get to that big open area. There's a save point in the bottom left corner. There are also 4 exits, one for the red, blue, green, and yellow crystals. Which one do you have any other comments about this big room?
I think there's a giant dragon mural kind of etched onto the floor here. And it's like, this place is definitely about dragons, by the way. But yeah, you're right. There's 4 paths to choose from. I thought it was interesting here that like throughout the course of this game, like especially in Water Dragon Isle, and you can actually go to Earth Dragon Isle at this point in time, and I kind of popped in there at one point, but there's always explorers out there trying to confirm the existence of dragons.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know who they're working for, if they're just independent archaeologists or what.
Could they not find this shit? I guess they didn't have the dragon. I guess they didn't find the ice.
The ice breath, yeah. They didn't want their HP to get one and get their asses whooped by some cat burglars.
They didn't have healing potions, I guess.
No, of course not. We're the
only
Lava
people that
Boys
know how to
keep
use
them
elements. Out. Okay. Good job, Lava Boys. But now we're here to confirm all these dragon legends, and here we are. I went in the order of the FAQ, so...
Oh, cool. Me too.
Okay, good.
So we're going to the red room.
Yeah, we're going right, and we cross a bridge, and we meet a dragon statue.
All of the columns on the bridge are topped off with pawn chess pieces.
Yeah.
We arrive at a room with a giant statue of a dragon in the center. Whichever way this dragon is pointing is the north direction for the puzzle. The guide mentions a bunch of shit about correct pillars and holes, and I don't understand any of it.
I have the quote.
Yes.
The Watchkeeper faces north as we defend the fort.
So we have to pick a direction?
So when you come, it's random which way it's facing. So whatever which way it's facing is north. And so that telegraphs when you pick a cardinal direction where that bridge is going to go.
So it'll drop you in one of 4 points.
Yes, down one of 4 holes basically, and one of them gets you to the right spot. The other one just gets you to some treasure chests and stuff.
But yeah, well, there's one that's the right spot, one that's a waste of time, one for treasures, and one for some Cybots.
Yeah, and I think you can dodge those Cybots pretty easily, but it is important to note here that we saw those Cybots in Surge's dream.
So you know where you were in that.
Yeah.
The first direction I picked was north, and I didn't really know what was happening, and I just watched the thing do a complete 360, then disappear and drop me down a hole.
Yeah.
Also, down here, there's a red save cube, and it told me my body was brimming with energy. What is that?
I don't know. I saw that. I don't know what that is either.
It's like a save point, but it's red.
Does it heal you or something?
I don't know. My body is brimming with energy, Chris.
Well, of course it is. You look great. What if it just said, you look great today?
Yeah, you look nice. All these rooms split into the same walkway that leads back into the initial room, so if you mess up, you can do it over again.
Yeah, it's just a kind of a time waster a little bit, unless you do this right.
In those treasure chests are a fire pillar, a flame charm, and a volcano element, which is a pretty good fire spell.
Yeah. I picked the one, actually, I got it right on the first try, and I went into the room where you can actually activate.
It's like an altar with a red crystal monolith.
Yes, I wrote obelisk, but same thing, monolith.
Obelisk is pretty good. I like that word.
So, yeah, you activate that thing, and then it kind of phases back to some sort of area. It's not the central area. It's different.
Not?
No, it's different. It's the area at the top that we see later.
Okay, yeah.
And like a dragon statue appears there, and we can see that we have to activate X amount of statues at this point in time.
Does it light up a ring on the floor up there, or where in your...
Both.
Okay.
So it lights up a ring on the floor in the central area that we've already been to, and then at the top of the tower, it activates a statue in the final room that we're going to be in.
Okay. Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So if I'm tagging along with you on your adventure to find your dead self in some other world, and I'm just touching monoliths in ancient forts, and it's, enacting some blood pact with dragon statues and making light shoot out of the floor, do you ask questions? Should there be a conversation here about what is happening?
Are you asking if Surge should be asking questions here?
I'm asking if Surge's companion should be asking this boy Wonder if he knows what he's doing.
Oh, good question. Actually...
Like, are you going to, unlock an ancient evil? Is this going to get our answers somehow? Why are we here?
Yeah, there's very little dialogue up until we get to the end part here. So your answer is my answer is yes, I would definitely ask you that. But in terms of in practice in this game, no one says shit.
Okay.
We're just going through a dungeon. And You know, I'm okay with that at this point in the time because we've not actually had a really good large dungeon where we have to do a lot of traversal and puzzle solving. So I'm kind of okay with it because
how it's going, the big dungeon. So this is analogous to the relationship between Derek Zoolander and Billy Zane, where you just assume they have a big history together and that they acknowledge each other and respect each other's choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there is an implicit trust of Surge. Otherwise, these people wouldn't come with him. I mean, what the fuck else is Skelly going to do other than hang out with his grandma, right?
Join the circus.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't bring Skelly, though. I brought Kid and Glenn. And Kid and Glenn both have reasons to be here, so... Also, maybe that's why they didn't insert dialogue, because you could be bringing somebody who has a good reason to be here.
Dead Boy Superstar.
Indeed. So, next we're going to go left, right?
The Yellow Room.
Yes, this is a mouse maze.
It's the same deal, though. It's a big bridge with pawn pillars. I think it's all the same bridge. Maybe it's the same art, but maybe kind of reversed.
Yeah.
Or mirrored or horizontally flipped.
There's some bats flying around here that you can fight. They're called Googles.
No, dude, they're called combats.
No. Well, there's Googles and combats.
Yeah, Googles are one-eyed flying goobers.
They're the ones that look like Yomi's cousin or something.
Yes.
We met them before. We met them in... These are differently colored than the ones that we met before, but I think we met them on the... Maybe on the Viper Bluffs or
When
something.
Chris says Yomi, he's talking about Terra Enigma.
Patreon.com/RetroIM.
There's also alpha bats, which are just regular-ass bats, and then the combat is a bat standing up with its wings wrapped like Dracula.
Yeah.
So at some point, I thought my run button broke on my 25-year-old controller.
Oh, well, that would be a thing that could happen to a 25-year-old controller, I guess.
However, I actually have the sprain status, which breaks the run button.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing in this game.
I didn't either.
Which is that green?
I think it's yellow.
Yellow status? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not sure about that. So at some point, I get to a blue platform with hieroglyphics, and it changes the order of my party.
Yes.
What? This is my most frustrating dungeon so far in this entire game.
Oh.
So one of those doors leads to an instructions pillar. Did you have what the pillar says?
Yes, it says, "We Dragonians are comprised of a head, body, and tail. Thou must change the order of the head, body, and tail to reveal a new path."
And then it flashes after
Yes.
it says that.
At that point in time, it is taking your active party and making them in order from front to back, head,
Right.
body, tail.
And when you do different things, it shifts around different parts of the level to access treasure chests,
Yeah.
or eventually a switch that lowers the main pedestal where you need to go. However, I didn't know that switch existed, so I just kept lowering and raising shit, hoping it would lower the main pedestal or make a bridge over there.
Oh.
So I did this for like a half hour. And then I also figured out the select button also switches your party around.
Yeah.
So you have to use a combination of that to rearrange the head, body, and tail. And I just did dumb luck. My quote here is, I have no idea what's happening. Am I stupid? At one point I did the same thing I'd been doing, and then one of the blocks moved over to the land with a chest, and I got an earth charm.
Yeah. I think each one of these areas has a different type of charm. And maybe not all of them, but most of them.
Did you notice the symbol on the monolith? It was like a Jesus cross with a bonus cross right in the middle.
Jesus bonus cross, no.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't know if they were all the same thing or if that was special or what.
Maybe the Dragonians were really into the sacrificial messiahs.
It's possible.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
So, next, we can...
You shut the yellow crystal down.
Yeah.
Yellow dragon illuminates. We have 2 circles filled in the main lobby.
Yes, we are done with that part. Next, I went to the right upper path, which...
The green room.
Yes, this is a series of stairs and pathways.
It's an M.C. Escher maze. Lots of stairs in varying perspective. Monument Valley for 90s babies.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, Monument Valley is a good way to describe this type of architecture.
There's lots of Cybots also walking around everywhere here.
Yes, I noted here that Luminaire owns.
Oh,
Because
you were just decimating
I
people?
was using Luminaire a lot and just destroying things.
There's some weird enemies here. The battle screen itself starts on a blue exit door, then zooms out to the entire field, revealing a mess of pathways and staircases. Spiders crawl out all over the floor as the battle is set.
Mm-hmm.
So Cybots don't take physical damage. They only seem to suffer big from elemental attacks.
Yeah.
That's annoying. Because you can't start off with elemental attacks. If you do, you dig a pretty deep hole.
Yeah.
But did you fight any paper boys? It's a collection of scrolls unfurled with red eyes hovering in the center.
Yeah. Did you notice that occasionally these things will scream at you?
No.
They'll say, I think it maybe if they're on their last bit of health, they will scream the term RIP with like 7 eyes at you. So
Oh dear.
it makes me think they're about to do an insta-kill move, but I didn't stick around to find out.
They do have a unique elemental attack. Did they use Paper Moon on you?
Yeah.
In a circle surge with paper and then closes in on them, overlaying the shape of a crescent moon and then doing 109 damage. Shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm wondering like how many unique techs that they created for these kind of one-off enemies.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because there's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them could be, they could double up and use them on multiple characters, but some of them seem very specific to these types of things.
Yeah, I doubt we'll see a paper man anytime later.
Maybe, perhaps. We saw the boxer boys. Will we see the boxer men?
Boxerman.
Boxermen.
Boxerman.
Okay, great.
I also found a tornado trap here. One of these screens has a Cybot that basically tracks the player across 2 different levels of the plane. Like, it leaps to whichever is closer, and then Terminator walks in, like, toward their location. Like, it'll track you.
Yeah.
Some pretty interesting pathing at that point in time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. All in all, this is just a large maze.
Yeah.
Where if you take the wrong path a couple times, you may be rewarded with some treasure chests. I think I found a tornado trap here.
Yes.
And a couple other decent things.
There's a blue switch toward the exit that creates stairs that creates a shortcut for when you finally solve this thing. But
yes.
Once you get to the green obelisk, you get something new.
It's a boss battle.
Edge of Death plays.
Indeed.
What's this guy called?
Brink of Death. Taurusoid.
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 It is a faceless, horned beast mecha.
Huh. I've got bull mech thing, tall, big boy plate armor on legs, posts for feet, massive horns, and spiked shoulder pads.
Yeah, that's good too.
This guy has wrestling moves.
Yeah, he's got body press.
It's a frog splash.
Yeah, belly flop move. It reminds me of off the top rope kind of stuff,
Yes,
right?
frog splash.
Yes. Also has back press where he just kind of like tosses you behind.
Ooh, I've got back drop. Is that something different?
Might be.
It's like
It's probably backdrop, yeah. I think
he
it's
does a
backdrop.
spinning clothesline.
Yeah, and also there's choke slam.
Choke slam's awesome.
It's definitely a choke slam. I think it knocks you up into the air and then choke slams you.
Chris, I don't know what kind of choke slams you're into, but it doesn't start with someone mega stomping the ground in front of Korcha, sending him up in the air, and then smashing his foot down on the body as it plummets back to Earth.
Yeah.
But that is not what the Undertaker does.
Also note this thing is a green innate
Or
element.
the giant, excuse me.
Yeah. And if you use the opposing element yellow on it, it will immediately heal. So you
Really?
so you actually have to use elements that it is not weak to.
My next note is MF starts doing 2 techs in a row. Fuck me.
Yeah, for sure. He's pretty strong, but it is pretty impossible to exploit the battlefield element system here because he will always, if you try to get things yellow, he will always respond with a heal, which is green. So he knocks it out.
I don't have that strategy in my RAM yet.
Oh, yeah. Get it there, man. It's fun.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think it's necessary, but it's fun.
Just like me.
Yes, indeed. So when it dies, it crumples into a Xenogears battle transition.
It takes a knee. Its
Yeah.
arms disintegrate, then it collapses onto its face, and the rest of the triangles burst out into oblivion.
Yes. Broken mirror, a million shades. Broken mirror, a million shards of...
Initializing fake net.
Chris can't recall the lyrics of Small 2 of Pieces from Xenogears, but here, buddy, I got you.
Broken mirror, a million shades of light. The old echo fades.
Chris is shutting down. I'm going to go ahead and say Korcha sucks. I'm calling an audible and putting Skelly in, but I have to go back to Termina to get him some decent gear.
Oh, okay.
LOL,
Well,
Skelly comes with iron gear. I did this for nothing.
good. Damn it, Eric. Why are you doing this? Okay. So now you have Skelly.
Yes.
I don't have Skelly, but whatever. Skelly is well represented.
Mhm.
So then we head to the upper left path.
It's a blue room.
Indeed. This place has treasure chests that act as switches to move
Nothing
bridges.
in those chests, son.
Yeah.
So we got to open these chests that move the stuff around. There's some like neat strategy to doing this about organizing your path and foresight and shit like that. One of them leads to an Acacia Private.
Yeah. Is that guy like waiting in a secret passage to ambush me?
I don't know what they're
Because
doing
that
here.
seems like a bad place for an
Yeah.
ambush.
And there's also a Dragoon, which is a mounted soldier with a huge lance. And then that the room they're in, at least in my case, was empty, so they were guarding nothing.
Did you notice that the mounted dragoons on those little velociraptor looking things,
Mhm.
the dinosaurs are, or I guess they're dragons. but-
Dragoons, sir.
Yeah.
We fed them in the cage,
Yeah.
sir.
The dragons are wearing earrings.
Yeah, it's very stylish.
It's cool.
yeah.
I like it.
I'm going to
So-
go ahead and headcanon. Those are the number of kills they have. It's like the stamps on an airplane.
Yeah, cool. Well, they're not getting another one today, my friend, because I'm going to own you. So,
I got a sea charm in some room that protects against anti-blue.
yes. All these charms protect against various...
Yeah, I think Earth was anti-yellow, maybe.
yeah.
So we eventually approach this blue pillar, and then a blob thing materializes.
Yes, it's called the giant glop.
I've got gloop. How do you pronounce Gloop, Chris?
L-O-P?
Loop.
Gloop.
Do you have gloop or glop?
I have glop, but I could be
Shit,
wrong.
fake net. What is it?
Initializing fake net.
Eric is correct. It's the giant gloop. I like the way I say that word. Gloop. Gloop.
So, my favorite... Thank you, FakeNet, by the way.
Gloop.
My favorite attack that it does is called Gooey Goo,
Yeah, it's just so good.
but also it has a move called Take In.
What does Gooey Goo do?
I think it just shoots a bunch of globs at you, right?
Oh, I have tosses combat on people and lowers their evasion.
Also true.
Jesus.
I mean, probably with that. I mean, yeah.
gloop,
I also have stolen antiviral cap
Oh, cool.
with my kid abilities because kid steals.
Yes.
But what's your favorite ability?
Taken.
Taken.
This Majin Buu's our asses inside of it.
Can you explain the reference?
Majin Buu is a Dragon Ball enemy, and he's kind of like made of like pink gooey stuff, and he can like absorb people.
Okay.
okay,
So I put absorbs people as if taken in by a jello mold.
Yeah,
And then harps them back up. He takes Skelly like this, and when Skelly picks himself back up, he has to reattach his own head.
Yeah, that's funny. Wow. Hell
next
yeah, Skelly.
Note is, I lost. How come I only have one revive element, and why do none of these stores sell it? Because I went back trying to buy more after this.
Yeah, there are none.
You can't do that.
So when this thing's low on health, it'll start doing iceberg.
Oh, dear.
Which is very strong. But eventually, this thing melts and evaporates upon its defeat.
Yes, you've killed Ditto.
Yes, thank you, Ditto.
17th star.
Don't kill your Dittos, they're good for breeding. So, then you can activate the blue stone, of course, the blue obelisk, and raises the last pillar in the central
Yes,
room.
we are all lit up again.
Yes, we're there. We're on the way. Once you enter the central room, you can now access this small like hub area
Yeah.
that's risen from the middle, and you can go inside there. There's another pillar there,
It's white.
but before we were able to activate it, the sun from Teletubbies attacks us.
Oh, man, I've got two.
Oh,
Some of Teletubbies is good. I've got Taboo Sun from the NES game Taboo RKOs out of nowhere and opens its mouth and silent shouts.
yeah.
Alternate fucking Crossfire game piece looking ass.
Yeah, both really good. It's called Son of a Gun.
Yeah, all one word. It's like intercapped.
Do you know why it's called Son of a Gun, Eric?
I learned on Twitter, but you tell me.
It's a reference to Son of Sun, which is an optional boss in Chrono Trigger found in the Sun Palace in 2300 AD. It is I think it's the final boss of the Sunstone side quest arc, which allows you to get the rainbow shell stuff. So
Yeah, if you say so. This is my favorite boss in this video game.
this is my favorite. Hold on, let me think about this for a second.
Favorite Sun, beating the Mario 3 Sun.
I was going to say this is my favorite boss in a video game that we've covered on this podcast to date.
That's pretty strong.
But I'm
Chris.
thinking pretty hard about but Terranigma has vultures that poop on you.
This
so,
is true.
Hard
We
to
both
say.
enjoy our feces here at Retrograde Amnesia.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, this thing's awesome. My first note is damn it. Because this thing has all the faces.
Oh god, as it hovers forward to attack you the first time, its cherubic eyes get wider and wider.
The first thing it used on me is kissy wissy.
Kissy Wissy's so good.
It's fucking gross.
It's a white element. What's it do?
It just kisses you in the face. I don't remember what it does.
It hovers toward Kid and blows her 3 kisses. Then it gets real close and French kisses her while hearts explode out of its mouth.
Ugh. Does
WTF.
it do damage or what?
It missed.
It missed. Yeah, I think maybe it missed. It's probably a status.
A status
effect.
thing?
Yeah.
yeah,
This thing also has an ability called mode change.
Yes, it goes full Jim Carrey, then turns around and reappears with an angry mouth.
It changes its faces like a quintessent judge.
Ooh, nice. Good Transformers pull.
Has the Imperial Magistrate reached a verdict?
I have.
Yes. Guilty or innocent.
We can do the whole movie. Just keep
So, this is a pretty tough boss, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not easy.
I did Hellbound with Skelly, and while it distorted its face while I hit it in satisfying ways, it did 0 damage, which is hilarious.
Is Hellbound the soul-sucking one?
Yeah.
I think that's an auto-kill one, so it's not going to work on a
okay.
boss.
I was going to say maybe it has no soul to suck.
Well, also, that's probably true, too. This thing's soulless as hell. But each time it does that mode change, it comes...
It refaces.
Yeah, it changes its face into a different emotion. Like, it could be very happy, very sad, very angry, and I think each one of those has a particular move that it does on you.
It also kind of screams when it dies, when you kill it. There's like a noise to it. It's got a great death sequence.
Yeah, when it dies, it ascends to wherever Philip K. Dick was trying to go.
God damn it.
Because
It gets there, man.
it's a beautiful. It doesn't die; it ascends. It's beautiful. It really touched me for a moment. I was like, when I die, I want to ascend like that. It's very colorful and majestic, kind of sad, but like you know, you're like, this guy's getting where he wants to be.
Well, if you die, I'll just start taking pictures of when it happens.
Okay,
Those will
yeah,
be good.
yeah,
People
just
will like that.
put a bunch of lens flares in there and make it
I can
look
do
cool.
that.
Okay,
Yeah, J.J. Abrams, that shit.
thank you. We activate the white crystal, then we can go on the lift,
The
right?
white crystal lift. You can go up or you can go down. Chris, up's the path we go, so we got to go down first,
Of
don't
course. Downstairs, it's lore hints, I think.
we? It is the room where the eggs hatch in the movie Alien.
Yeah. But do you think this is where the dragon gods hatched from? Like, were the dragon gods created
I mean,
here?
this is clearly an incubation thing with a bunch of cracked eggs, right?
Yeah, one of them is empty.
Right. And when you examine it, it says it's some kind of device. It's not functioning. And because there's an ellipses after not functioning, I'm led to believe I will have it functioning here at some point.
Yes, as soon as I find an egg, I'm going to bring it here, right?
Yeah, of course.
So,
do we have an egg? We do.
we
We
do?
found it in a fucking bird nest
Oh,
at the Fossil Valley.
oh, can we put it here?
Not in this world.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for looking that up, Eric.
I've already done it. Spoilers.
So then, when we reach the top, we are in the same hallway that the game opened up in.
Yes, we take that elevator up, and I recognize it where we are. It's the same place from the prologue. But Chris, I don't have Rasley.
Yes, and I don't have Orcha.
Metal Gear Solid Time Paradox.
You've created a time paradox.
Yes, also, what's different here? Couple things.
When the doors close, it actually dims the lighting this time.
And
You can go left.
the music is not Brink of Death. It is just the same for
Yeah.
Dragonia music.
Yes, this is true.
Also, the enemies in this area, they're
Not
not
just
cy-
Cybots.
They're not Cybots.
It's like a bat flying around and shit. And so
the-
there's a dragoon later.
yeah, it's mostly Acacia Dragoon soldiers and whatnots.
When the doors close, though, it actually dims the lighting. And I would like to know how they did this with pre-rendered backgrounds. Does it shuffle in new pre-rendered backgrounds or what? Because it's a really neat effect they don't do a whole lot.
They probably have a rendered effect on top of, like a translucent rendered effect on top of it.
That's pretty good for PS1 games, right? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't see, 8 or 7 do that stuff.
But they've done some shit with the water and with some of the backgrounds, like with the birds and stuff. That leads me to believe that they were.
So, spoilers, do you have Norris yet in whenever you are in this game?
No.
When you get him, pay attention to the lighting when you get him because it's really fucking cool.
Okay. Cool.
So when you get out this elevator, I can go left now. I didn't remember doing that before. Could you go, because it leads to a balcony overlooking a black monolith. Could you
Yeah.
do that before?
Yeah, you can do that, and when you do that in the dream sequence, Kid notes that that's the destination,
Oh, okay.
but you don't have to do it. But
Okay.
in this case, nothing happens. You just kind of see it.
So somewhere around here, I got a Daemon Charm, which, as you can guess, protects against anti-black.
Yeah, I think I have a couple of these now. Oh yeah, there was one in the parlor room in Viper Manor that we unlocked earlier.
We also get an Angel Charm. You can guess what that does.
Mhm.
It protects against anti-white.
I didn't really have many other notes around here. You just kind of go through the same places, the same spaces. We've been here before.
Yeah, you get there, you turn the blue crystal on, right? And
Yes.
it activates
Black.
black, yes.
I mean, like dark, like black, light black, like black, purple,
yes. But there's a boss here.
black. Yeah. Yeah, there is, dude.
It's called a Bunyip.
A goober creature drops out of the sky. I guess it's supposed to be another dragon, maybe a corrupted dragon, but it looks dumb as hell.
It's a glob rabbit with tiny eyes.
Yes.
Initializing RealNet. Future time paradox. RealNet comment pulled post-production via my friend Dragonzord. The Bunyip is a large mythical creature from Australian Aboriginal mythology, said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and water holes. The Bunyip was part of traditional Aboriginal beliefs and stories throughout Australia, while its name varied according to tribal nomenclature.
Who the hell's voice was that?
It kind of looks like the same skin or shape of the water dragon a little bit, where it's
Yeah.
got like a big oversized mouth and small eyes.
Like it's been corrupted or something like
Yeah.
that.
This is the place where you can do some pretty good trap stuff, right?
Yes, you can spend. This is where I learned that bosses in this game deliver attacks in patterns that repeat.
Yes.
And you got to be set up for it.
The first section of this boss, or the first few attacks of
It's
this
a two-phase boss.
will eventually lead it to casting Inferno, which
And
you can try.
Volcano.
Yes, and Volcano. In my case, I captured 2 Infernos and I think 1 Volcano, and then I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well, I let stuff kill me a lot. I fought this thing a whole bunch of times. I also didn't know that once you set one trap and you set another one, the other one will replace it.
Yeah, that's how I fucked up the first time.
Yeah,
and
you
I had to run away, and I had so many traps that I really wasn't worried about reloading, so
Yeah.
that was fine.
So yeah, I got multiple volcano because I would trap an Inferno volcano, then run away, and then do another one, run away, do another one. I got my ass kicked by a boss later in this game, and I have very not fond, but specific memories of that, and I don't want to do that again. So I'm
Yeah.
going to get all these powerful spells that I can.
And yeah, that's a good point, because this game doesn't, like, stealing these things is worth it, because
Yes.
according to the FAQ that we're both following, you can't get this stuff till much later in the
Right.
game. So specifically with Inferno, that's a really good spell.
Yeah, I mean, Volcano we picked up earlier, but Inferno too.
Yeah, Inferno will nuke an entire group, and it's really good, especially if you're using a red elemental like Kid. So
So at some point when we fight this thing, we'll get there. When you fight this thing, it like barfs up a black slime creature and changes its element, and now it's just this thing now. It looks like,
it vomits out its eyeball jelly,
yeah.
and it turns into a creature that changes the background. We're like
Yeah.
in an interdimensional battle.
You're in Final Destination.
Yeah, a place that you would be. If you mean from Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like a place that you would be for like a final boss kind of thing. So it's kind of weird.
It evolves into an eyeball with pants. The whole field goes blue, and it's John Cena with cargo khakis.
Yeah, it has a really powerful attack called Devil Thunder.
Yeah.
And I wrote that down as a hardware intensive eye laser because like I had some frame rate drops, but I mean I don't know if that
Yeah, the game drops frames a lot.
yeah, but I don't know if that was because of my situation with emulation in the shaders, or if that was actually something that would happen in the game.
When you knock this thing on its ass, it actually has to do a backwards push-up to stand back up, which is a neat custom
Yeah.
animation.
So you can trap free fall from this bad boy.
Yes, and that is a very good black element spell. I got
Yes.
2 of them.
I got one. I was trying to get my second one, but I was like, man, I'm getting greedy and my HP's getting low, and I've
Yeah.
used all my heal spells.
Yeah.
So
You can get rich or die trying pretty easily in this game.
yeah, for sure. So you can kill it eventually, and when it dies, it shoots a Cyclops beam out of its eye into the sky and passes out.
Just like that pyramid in Las Vegas.
Yes.
19 stars earned.
Thank you, 19th star.
Fans of video games, history, or video game history will definitely want to listen to Retronauts. Each week, Bob Mackey and myself, that's Jeremy Parrish, dive into the stories behind the greatest games of the past and the history behind the hits of today. Check us out every Monday on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Come on, guys, we're gonna be late for class.
Oh, darn, not on our first day.
Don't worry, I pressurized all of our bike tires to optimal PSI for speed.
Wow. So we should be able to average 9.6 miles per hour, which should get us to class on time. We love Podford University for teaching us these skills.
Podford University, iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere you get podcasts.
Now we can access the portal.
We go to the top.
Yes, to the top, the same place that we went at the beginning of the game in the dream.
This Windy Hill.
We know the moment that we are approaching now, but do we? Because things are a little bit different here. Do we know? Do we think it's at this point in time? Like, what do you think? Do you think it's going to play out the
I
same
think
way?
we're not prisoners of fate. We're masters of our own destiny.
Are we? I don't know what game you're playing, but we'll find out.
Rasley ain't here, dog.
Yeah, it's true. Everything here has been, like I said, a little bit different than the dream. So I was wondering at that point in time if things were going to be a little different.
We go back up to that entrance, and there's the old CG cutscene of the big doors opening. The vision
Yes.
returns. Kid is dead by my hands. I go in anyway. We'll see
Yeah.
the truth behind this door, surely.
You actually see a little bit of the aftermath of that too.
So is there additional...
Like, it's not just replaying the same video. You see a little bit of, like, I think the shot lingers a little bit longer. But eventually, Kid says, "Come on, mate."
Yes.
And we enter the, I call this the dragon rune room, because those dragon runes that we were creating by unlocking those pillars
Yeah.
are all here. So I guess we've activated Fort Dragonia.
In the center is like a scepter when you're in there.
Yeah, a scepter or maybe a pedestal,
But
maybe.
someone else is here.
Yes, 2 of our good buddies from previous boss battles. It's Lynx and, of course, General Viper.
They walk forward as soon as we enter the door. So were they waiting for us to activate these incredibly easy mechanisms? Or were they here the whole time, or what?
Of course they were expecting us. They're villains,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
They were.
How'd they get in? We just opened the stone door, dude. Do they have a secret, like, backdoor elevator? How'd they get in here?
That's a good question. Like, it
I mean,
makes,
Lynx can teleport, actually, so never mind.
Yeah, it also makes me wonder if, like, maybe Surge is a key to opening these things at this point in time, and they're just waiting for him.
You just maybe to the key to the destruction of this entire planet.
Of course. I mean, that's pretty much what we've learned at this point. It's Surge and the Astral Amulet, so one of the two had to have some sort of thing. But I thought that the Dragon Tier was the thing that activated this. So,
Dragon Tier, Frozen Flame, who cares?
yeah, whatever.
They walk forward as soon as we enter the door. Viper approaches first, but it's Lynx who said he expected us.
Yes.
Viper speaks. I have nothing personal against you, but anyone who hinders our plan must be eliminated. I am rather sorry about that.
Yes, in my case, Glenn will interject here.
Okay, what's he
And
say?
It's not really anything super specific. He just says general what is going on here. And then Viper tells Glenn that this need not concern him. And then he says, "One day you'll understand," which confirms to me that General Viper understands that Glenn is a daft boy.
I was going to say, with Glenn's track record, I thought he'd walk up and say, like, he said something somewhat competent. You just told me, but I would, like, if he also said, me name Glenn, I fight for you. Like, I would totally buy it. Like, just something really dumb.
Yeah. So then Brink of Death leads us
Yes.
into our battle, right?
The battle arena showcases all 6 different colored dragon statues. We are fighting in the very center at the heart of the concentric light and magic.
Yes.
I'm going to kill this old ass man.
He invites us to warm up a little bit. He's a yellow element, so Eric, let's turn this shit green.
Come on now, lads. I will take you on.
Yes.
Question real quick.
Yeah.
Is this Viper or is this guy being mind controlled?
I don't think he's being mind controlled.
You think he's bought in?
Explicitly, but I think he's being manipulated.
Okay.
He thinks he's doing something noble here, I think Viper is just... I think eventually in this game, Viper is going to emerge as a reformed neocon.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well, okay.
He repents a little bit, but you fight him, and he has a move called G-Force, which...
The yellow attack.
He flies in the air and slices us, crashing downward like Cloud does in Smash Brothers with his move, or even Omni-Slash, kind of.
He sliced Skelly's bone belly.
Yes, of course. In your case, maybe so. Eventually, we just beat his ass, and we beat him, right?
He also does the Air Force attack, where he makes 3 sword swipes that leave contrails, then blast those contrails into the group and attack all of our heroes. I also love when Surge opens up battles every time I play this game with 3 consecutive whiffs.
You've got to put that side scope on him, my guy. Got to do it. It's helpful.
So you beat his ass at one point, and then he starts laughing, right, as I win the battle?
Yeah, and we don't get victory music here, by the way. He just laughs, and we do, however, get the star level, which is interesting contrast there.
I mean, he laughs, it zooms in on his face, and his eyes are closed, and it's red. He's idling slowly. My dude looks like total shit.
He does.
Like that picture of Prince Philip in the car where he looks like he sucks Satan's dick for 3 additional years of life.
Yeah.
My dude looks like he made a deal with the devil.
Indeed. And guess what, Eric? He did. We also get a Dragoon Gauntlet, which I think
it's a good item.
We already have one. It increases, I think, hit percentage, strength, and something else.
It's the long dark code of this video game.
Yeah. So Viper calls us a worthy opponent, but
of course.
These guys are definitely up to some shit. Viper says that he's going to give
skeleton in the party hat as a worthy opponent.
Yeah, I kind of.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I wanted to be very canonical here, so I have Kid and Glenn here. But
all right, whatever.
I like your strategy as well. If only you would have brought Rasley as well. Would have been perfect. Pashul, Rasley, whatever. So it seems like Viper wants to fight us again.
Yeah,
like
he's
full. Like,
he
you
was
haven't seen
back.
My full power yet.
Of course.
Yes. But Lynx phases in behind him. We've seen Lynx do his. He's not walking, but it's kind of like a hard walk phase.
It's a pure flourish because he teleports like 2 feet.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's very much a flex.
Yeah.
And he does that, and he literally and figuratively stabs Viper in the back.
He knifes him. Red pixels spill out of his character model after a splashing noise.
Oh, I missed those red pixels. Cool.
Viper was a chump and went out like a punk.
Mm-hmm.
Viper, dying, realizes what is happening and calls Lynx a traitor.
Yes.
Maybe he's not dying. He takes a knee and then starts breathing heavily.
Yeah. Lynx tells Viper that he was extremely useful in helping him navigate these islands. And from the looks of it, like, why, if all Lynx needed was somebody to help navigate the islands, why didn't he recruit Korcha? Like, don't you think Korcha would have gone along with Lynx's plans?
Korcha talks too much. He also doesn't have the power of an army behind him, right?
Yeah, that's
They're
true.
brought to kill a lot of Cybots and monsters on their way here.
Yeah. How did they get through the flames?
Airlift by the dragons.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sure, I guess. Why not?
So Lynx has a good sign-off line to Viper. This fort shall serve as a fine grave marker for you and your dragoons. May you rest in peace.
I'm a sucker. An absolute sucker for when bad guys tell their enemies to rest in peace. I love it every time.
He's not even his enemy; he's his ally.
Well, he's
even better.
He became an enemy once he decided to put a knife in his back. So whenever a bad guy says "May you rest in peace" in a kind of formal tone, I love it. It's good villain shit.
Do you think Lynx cleans the blood off his blade before he puts it back in the sheath, or he just jams it back in there, dirty as shit?
I mean, if you look at Lynx's outfit, he's kind of dressed in a manner which would lead you to believe that he cares about his attire and his formal wear.
This is true. He is ornately decorated.
Yes, so I would say yes.
So Viper, as he says, "Damn, I forgive me, Riddell." So he apologizes to his daughter. Chris, I hope I say something that cool when I'm dying.
Yeah, apologize. Yeah, immediately send yourself into a flourish of regret.
Lynx says, "Now let this be your final resting place as well." And at this point, Viper is face down on the ground on the floor like an animal.
Yes. And did you feel like this shit's getting really good right now?
Yeah, it's getting good.
Like I was this kind of unlocks some, not memories, but like emotions that I had.
Showdown, man.
Yeah, and I love a good showdown, especially when you know that this is a showdown that is not going to end the game. This is a showdown that's kind of like, I don't think this is 50% of the way through the game yet, but it feels like it's reaching that like, that we're heading into the second act.
Kid taunts Lynx. "Come on, Lynx, you're going down."
Yes.
Edge of Death plays.
Yes. Thank you. Damn, you know what I wrote in my notes?
Brink of Death plays.
Edge of Death plays.
Fuck yeah, dude. See? Corruption. I'm going to win.
The first thing that happened was Lynx just nailed me with a glide hook for 100 damage.
He does like an aerial somersault and hits Surge in the head with his hook sword thing.
Did you notice? This can be obvious, but if you're not paying attention, it won't be. But Lynx has the exact same elements as Surge.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you brought into the battle is what he's going to use against you.
It's Luke in the cave, right?
Which is a nice bit of mechanical foreshadowing here.
Lynx does 4 physical attacks in a row to Skelly. I do Luminaire, and it does 290 damage, crying, laughing emoji.
How much?
290.
Do you know how much you would have done if you would have turned the entire field white before you did
Chris,
that?
I won the battle. I don't need to play your special, cheat rules.
Not that much more, about 351.
Damn.
So, pretty good.
He doesn't have that much HP, right?
Not a ton, but even that 351 didn't knock him out. I actually finished him off by using low res, which is a yellow element that lowers defense, and then did an X strike.
Nice.
And then fucked him up.
You and your techs.
Yes.
So after you beat Lynx, my favorite, you get a Pendragon Sigil B, but you also get 832 gold, which is funny that you're just robbing this.
Of course, we always rob people.
man.
Yes, also our 21st star level. So
yes,
I think we went into Fort Dragonia with into Mount Pyre with 14 or 13 and are coming out with 21. So this game's progressing pretty quickly at this point in time from a mechanical standpoint.
Lynx concedes that we are more trouble than he thought. He asks if we really think our skills are superior to his.
Yes.
Kid calls him a sore loser. Then he dematerializes 2 feet backwards.
Yeah, but once he dematerializes and reappears, he's in a floating badass pose.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty good.
He says, Surge, have you ever really questioned who you really are?
Yes.
My next note is Kid is alarmed. I think maybe her character animation does something weird.
Oh, yeah. Those character animations are kind of subtle. You won't notice them if you're not paying close attention.
Such if you're looking at your laptop and typing notes.
He goes on to say, what has been the significance of your existence up until now? On that ominous day 10 years ago, the boundary of space and time was torn, and part of me, in fact, died.
Panther CG.
What the hell does that mean? Yeah, we get the Panther FMV.
It's longer now. It zooms in on his face, and then it starts running. The Panther leaps and bites.
We're in a POV sequence here.
Yeah,
we're seeing
Panther Vision 2021.
Yeah, of course.
Lynx is now levitating, which I only noticed now. Then he says, you cannot defeat... We're back in the real-time stuff.
Yeah.
You cannot defeat me, Surge. That is because denying me is the same as erasing your very existence.
Yes.
Kid thinks this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't think so, because we've very keenly observed that a lot of times when we see some sort of a feline creature, we're also seeing Surge, and we've already seen some ominous stuff in the Dragon tier stuff when we saw it in Viper Manor of Surge's face morphing and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is very obviously two sides of one coin kind of thing going on here.
Well, it's funny you say 2 sides of one coin because Lynx says that.
Oh, cool.
That there are 2 sides to every coin. Life and death, love and hate.
Yeah.
They are all the same.
I guess so, man.
I mean, Lynx now, he started off strong, but now he's like the kid in the back of your philosophy class that thinks life is meaningless.
Yeah, that's true, but he's also going hard, so I'm appreciating Lynx at this point in time.
Kid asks him to talk sense, and then there's some CG that I put, look at YouTube and take notes later. I didn't.
I've got it for you, Eric. So, the Dragon tier, we can now confirm that the Dragon tier is on that central pedestal, right?
That was the scepter thing?
Yeah, and blinks, and Surge seems to shift in and out of existence. He begins to grab his head like he's having a massive
attack,
traumatic headache or something. And I don't know if he's physically seeing this or this is in his head, but there's a image of the Dragon tier, and you're seeing Surge morph into Lynx and then morph back and kind of going back and forth. So when the scene calms down here in the FMV or the CG or whatever, Surge awakens. Definitely evil now.
He does something weird.
Yeah?
He talks.
Yeah. Kid asks what is wrong, and she kind of panics. Surge responds.
Yes.
And let me just say, this next sequence, the way they play this out, the way they frame this, is the best thing this game has done. Let me just preface this conversation with that as we go forward. Yes, Surge responds with text, and he says, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just fine, kid." And how do you take this? Are you are you immediately figuring out what is going on? Or are you just
You know something's up because Surge doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Because you're Surge. That means you're not Surge.
Then there's a bit of silence, and then when you try to move the controller, it moves Lynx.
That's fucked up. That's such a good flourish.
That's the best thing this game has done.
I think so.
It's tremendous.
But just for a second, it moves him.
Yeah.
Then he bows his head.
Surge asks Lynx what he's doing. Then he tells Kid that this is her chance, and he seems to command her at this point in time to kill Lynx. So she approaches Lynx as he begins to back away, and she says, "This is the end of you, Lynx.
Say your prayers." Edge of Death plays.
Yes, a battle begins, and we are Lynx.
We are Lynx facing our party. Fuck man.
Yes, this is a great and effective way of slowly letting the player know what's going on here, and it's letting you really kind of feel the moment rather than just be told about the moment. I really love it.
You also have your element grid that you had when you were Surge.
Yes.
So Lynx is black element. Unless you had some blacks, it's not going to go well. But also, although you can win this battle, it's very hard.
Yeah.
Skelly killed me.
Yeah. Of course he did.
Yeah.
It's really interesting here that while it's super weird for us to hear Surge talking,
Yeah.
it's not weird to the rest of the people here
Yeah.
because there is that implicit back and forth between them, even though we're not actually seeing it.
Yeah.
And I think that dichotomy between what we observe as the player versus what the characters are observing plays really well for this moment because we can feel the events differently than the characters, and we kind of get that level of irony that where we can sense what's going on before the characters do.
Yes.
And it's really good. It's really great. It's one of the most effective storytelling techniques that this game has done to this point. I really liked it a lot.
So then Surge congratulates Kid,
Yep.
then asks her to finish Lynx. Kid hesitates.
Yeah, she seems to be a little off here a little bit.
Surge asks for Kid's dagger so he can finish off Lynx.
Yep, he'll do it himself.
Quote, watch this, Kid. I'll avenge Luca for you. Die, Lynx.
Oh.
If you're paying attention, you'll notice something very important.
Yeah, Luca named character from Chrono Trigger. Luca has been named, and it's interesting too because if you saw the scene with Kid after the Water Dragon Isle, you already have some information on her backstory.
You do, the player, but she never said the person's name.
Exactly.
Her big sister or whatever.
So she only called, yeah, exactly. She rather deliberately did not give her big sister or big sis's name at this point in time. So if you saw that scene, you can put those together. I think in my case, when I originally played this, I did not see that scene.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm pretty sure I did the thing where I went straight, where I didn't save Kid and I went straight to this moment without going to check on her. So she was just now showing up.
So as the player, you confirm something's up, but then Kid does a second later. She screams, wait.
Yes. She knows something's off.
And then Surge does wait for some reason. She asks how he knows Luca's name, and then Kid figures it out.
Yep.
And then there's the CG we are all anticipating. Kid is knifed. The prophecy is fulfilled.
Yes, this is a longer version than what we've seen so far. But before he actually stabs her, we see a moment of Kid like expressing frustration.
A resignation, maybe?
Yes, of like, wait, what's going on here? And then we slowly, you can almost see it in Surge's face in the way they animate it. He slowly decides like, okay, she's on to me. I'm going to kill her.
Yes.
Surge, the body of Surge, basically. And then we actually get to see the Lynx reaction, which very obviously is Surge in Lynx's body, where he is expressing a level of angst and sadness that only the feline can express. So then we go back to the present.
Yeah.
Glenn, or whoever our third-party member
Skelly.
is, can't figure out what's going on here.
Skelly says, Mr. S, why?
Yeah. And Surge tells him to be quiet and shoots a black ball of energy. Which
I've got pink energy fireball.
Yeah, I think it's black with interspersed with like bolts of pink energy. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like swirling about. And that seems to incapacitate Glenn or whoever you have with you here.
Mm-hmm. Then Surge leans over Kid, picks her up by her hair, and tells her this is the end.
Yes.
Kid figures it out. Then Surge tells her he's going to send her to see Luca, which means Luca is dead.
Yes, Luca, the character from Chrono Trigger, beloved character from Chrono Trigger, has been killed by whoever decided to make the
According
plot
to
of this game.
Lynx.
Yes, according to Lynx, true. We don't know that explicitly, but I mean, we did hear that from Kid earlier,
Yeah.
right? So we're pretty sure that Luca's dead.
So then Surge uses a custom animation and throws Kid back to the ground,
Yeah.
vowing to finish her off later. Does she have a higher purpose, or is this some plot-ass armor for not killing her right now?
The correct answer is she has a higher purpose, and I want to talk a little bit about like what the implied death of Luca means to somebody who has a high affinity for Chrono Trigger. Like fuck that shit, right? Like if you're big into Chrono Trigger, like wait, you're killing off.
They just killed Newton Hicks.
Yeah, you're killing off one of the main characters of the original game. I think where I was in life at that point in time, I was for it just because this game was referencing that plot,
Yeah,
and it was
shake it up,
and it was moving it in an interesting way.
You'll
but,
take whatever scraps they feed you, even if they're dead stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if those scraps are well earned, but I feel like I feel like the decision to do that and to craft the story around that was a
bold.
It was bold, and it was also, I think, a targeted way to deconstruct the game that this is based off of, and tell the player, or tell a player that is into Chrono Trigger, that the stakes are different here.
Yeah. This is also, you mentioned it earlier, but this is where I also noticed Surge's dialogue portrait is now different. His brown eyes are now wide open, and he looks like he's received a dirty Sanchez over his entire face. Also, his face is Surge, but his dialogue box still says Lynx, and he asks Lynx to look at himself.
This is after Kid figures it out.
Yeah. It says, excellent, the enmity is growing. The only thing pure in this world is enmity.
Yes. He says, then, well, the time has come for the curtain to fall. Your services are no longer needed. Even your very existence is worthless. Farewell, Surge. Two things unpacking this part before we move on. All of this is real good villain shit here from Lynx, but it does kind of, I don't know, borrow or hearken to some like Star Wars Palpatine dark side shit. Use your anger. Lynx is now Dark Surge at this point in time. Like his portrait is fully changed over to the evil version of it, and he approaches the table or the pedestal at the center of the room where the dragon tier is.
Finally, I have the key to the fate of fate.
Something like that. No, I'm sorry. The key to the gate of fate.
Okay, I must have hit F instead of G. The time has finally come for the frozen flame to awaken.
Proper noun MacGuffin also brought in here. It's all coming together, Eric.
Surge disappears and starts levitating.
Yeah, Dark Surge floats up into the sky, and at this point in time, he invites actual Surge in Lynx's body to the Sea of Eden.
Yes.
Should he wish to end his dream of 10 years ago.
10 years ago, 14 years ago, a lot of things happening.
Seems like Lynx, like, the purpose of this was to acquire Surge's body because Surge is the Chrono trigger.
The key, of course.
Yes, and so, but there seems to be an additional reason to keep Surge alive, or is it just some harsh villain shit?
Harsh villain shit, and the game's not over yet.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true as well.
Then, like, purple magic shit starts happening, and the screen shakes. This looks wild on a PS1.
Yeah.
And there's one more really good sign-off line.
Yeah, the final line before things kind of go haywire here is, now, let love bleed, darker and deeper than the seas of hell, and then followed by maniacal laughing.
It ends in capital letters of haha laughing.
Yes.
Then Chrono Cross mosaics into a black screen.
Well, the dragon, did you notice the dragon tier shatters along with all of the dragons around it?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Everything becomes sort of pulsating, kind of like that Xenogears battle transition thing, the alternate one. And Lynx is then pulled into the sky by dark energy. That's the Lynx's body. And
the body of Lynx.
This whole visual is just terrific.
Chef's kiss.
Yes, exactly.
When it says let love bleed, what love are we talking about here?
I'm glad you asked that. So, did you think that we were going to cite the Xenogears and Xenosaga study guide in this podcast?
I couldn't imagine why we wouldn't.
Okay, so according to the Xenogears study guide, this line is taken from the Japan exclusive Xenogears demo. Masato Kato worked on both games.
Oh, that's right.
So this is the line that they had at the end of the demo that was sort of supposed to be Faye's inner dialogue after he destroyed Lahan Village, and it was kind of giving you a hint of what was going on inside of Faye to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
For those that may not have checked out our Xenogears podcast, you should do that, by the way.
Or our demo podcast.
Yes, or yeah, that too. But this was only the Japanese version, so that line was there, but they thought it was a little bit too on the nose for the purposes of foreshadowing, which is kind of strange because that game is on the nose very, very often early in that game.
And it was reemployed?
And then apparently Kato wrote that or lifted it and used it here, because it is a great line.
I mean, Chris, as someone who's written somewhere north of 600 video games reviews, have I cut metaphors from one and put them in another unrelated game?
Of course you
Absolutely.
have. Okay, yes, it's great. So to answer your original question, what is the love bleeding? Or where?
Or is anything bleeding, or is this just a cool line?
I think it's just a cool line.
Yeah,
I think Kato just really wanted to use it here.
Yeah.
But if you really wanted to try to unpack it, I think it would have to do, it would refer back to the enmity that he was referring to before, like destroy your love and embrace the dark side, basically.
Can I rewrite this line real quick for you?
Yes, of course.
I picture, instead of now let love bleed, he smacks his hands together, cleaning them, and he goes, thanks for the dwarf blood.
Yeah, that'd be good too, because there is dwarf blood on our hands.
Yes.
And now on Lynx's hands physically as well. So
then he gets off in the dwarf car and drives away.
Yeah, minecart. The Donkey Kong minecart.
No, man, the dwarf, like the
hi-ho tank. The hi-ho tank, yeah, great.
He's prepared that thing.
Yeah, so then the scene is over, it pulsates and fades away, and the dark middle chapter has begun.
See us next time in Color Hell.
Question, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking strictly from a dialogue and prose standpoint, does any villain that you can think of right now have better villain shit dialogue than Lynx other than Groff?
I was always fond of Kuja.
Okay, yeah, it's been a long time since I played that, but yeah, I remember that.
Galleon was a magical man with a very verbose dialogue and just delicious words that he spoke.
You're right. I'm going to have Galleon second and maybe Lynx third. We'll have to see how Lynx, rounds out the end of this game, so we'll find out.
And obviously the guy from Quest 64.
Oh yeah, that guy. Sure, I've played that game. Oh, so let's check in with the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
Ben Coop de Gravy says, Time Splitters 2 and 3 are my favorite FPS games ever.
Hell yeah, dude.
I guess we talked about that in last episode.
It's a PlayStation 2 launch game.
Yes. See our last episode. Alter Impulse says it'll be nice if the element traps served purposes in real life. For example, a tornado trap. That would be good.
You just redirect this windstorm here.
Earlier in this podcast, I was trying to quote Small 2 of Pieces when I said
that's what you were doing.
Broken Mirror Million. And no one corrected me properly, but...
I was going to let you flame out, man.
But thank you. Alter Impulse says, Broken Mirror a million shards of flight. So.
Shards? That's not it.
No.
That does not bring light. It brings misery.
No.
You've ruined your day. Trying to be cute.
Yeah.
Look at this, guys.
SSD Ninja says, put it in the podcast backwards. You'll be fine. I think that's in reference to Black or White.
Black or White.
Yeah. Hey.
It'll work out.
Yeah, it'll work out.
Speaking of that, when Rasley left our party in last episode, did you notice that I put the victory music backwards?
No. I don't know if I listened to the whole thing yet. My friend Dragonzord says, kid while dying, oi crikey, shrimp on the Barbie, mate, blarg.
Blarg.
Let's see. Okay, this is a good discussion comment or whatever. My friend Dragonsword says, man, what was with Square at this point and having their protagonists have memory/identity issues? Final Fantasy VII, Xenogears, Chrono Cross, even Parasite Eve.
Retrograde amnesia.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Yes, that is why we chose the name, because we could apply it to multiple games if we ever decided to do a different game, and it was a trope that was implied heavily at the time of...
you ever wish you had more foresight for anything else in your life like that?
I think we used up all of our capital for that particular thing at that point in time.
That's it.
So congratulations to you for picking that, and for me to say, Eric, we should pick this one. SSD Ninja post a video of the Mega Man 8 terrible voice acting.
Dr. Wowie.
What do you make of these?
These? Seems to be energy resources. But I've never seen this type on Earth. I don't know where this energy came from, but you cannot let it fall into Dr. Wowie's hands. You must recover all the energy immediately, Mega Man.
But where is Dr. Wily?
That's a good question. We may be able to locate another energy emission from the radar room. When we find that meteor, we'll find Dr. Wowie.
Yeah, I have that game, the physical copy of that game around here somewhere. So if you want
some bucks, dude.
If you want to borrow it.
It's okay. I have a PlayStation with every PlayStation game on it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Mega Man 8. Decent game.
There's a part in that where like the actor forgets his line and then just says, where are we going? Mega Man. They just kept it in. Like there was one take forever. Mega Man 8's beautiful.
Okay, so SSD just says in all caps, the Doc and Gai.
Dr. Wowie.
The Doc and Gai.
You saying English, dude? What is that?
I don't know. He said it a couple times, so I figured it might be important.
Dr. Wowie.
Sometimes when people make comments about things that we said before, the dark energy. The dark energy.
The dark energy.
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
So he's doing Dr. Light doing Chrono Cross?
I don't know where you know what? I'm actually starting to like...
dark energy.
Well, so this podcast was kind of built around a community of people that knew a lot about Xenogears. Uh-huh. So, like, we moved on to Chrono Cross, and we don't have as many like people that are as like encyclopedic with their knowledge about it as we did with Xenogears. But the RealNet stuff like veers off into great directions. Yeah. So, congratulations for inspiring that, RealNet. Anyway, thank you for joining us tonight, RealNet. We will see you
Dr. Wowie
on the next episode. Outtakes are coming up. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on October 20th, 2020. Thank you, Mark
Shepard,
for the intro track.
You're welcome, Chris.
Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia Pod. Subscribe, rate, review us wherever you get your podcasts. More importantly, tell your friends about the podcast if you want. Email the show at retrogradeamnesiapodcast@gmail.com if you're into email. If you guys got email us. If you like the show, please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, miniseries, and more. Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we will kill God.
And now, you may go back to nap.
Deleted my Facebook account today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great. You don't need that marketplace shit. It's okay. You'll be fine without it. Eventually, people
I'll stop buying things.
Eventually, people are going to age out of using that shit anyway. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So anything that you may be interested in it's not going to be.
You don't need to buy it.
No need to. Also true. Consumer whore.
Mark bought on discount that no one picked up that just said "Happy Birthday, Derek."
Thanks, Mark.
Did you go to his thing where he had the Derek cake too?
I know, but I heard about
One
it.
of his part. It was just another Derek cake.
All right. Let's record another podcast, Eric.
Okay.
Hey, Eric.
Oh, what's up, Chris?
Hey, what's up? I should start making you read this, by the way, but I'm going to read it now.
I can't read. That's great.
You two can join that at
Rachel.com.
We'll have to talk about that story another
The
time.
Rachel.com story? Fuck yeah, we will.
Yeah.
RAYCHUL.
It's like a Harry Potter something, I guess. Yeah, Paperboys. It reminds me of, have you seen the FX series Atlanta starring Donald Glover?
No, my wife has, though. She speaks highly of it.
Oh,
Is there
yeah.
a Paperboy in that?
There's his like one of his best buddies is a like a local like B tier rapper, and his name is Paperboy.
Okay.
And he has a song called Paperboy, and it's funny. I think Taboo's wasn't originally an NES game.
What do you mean?
Taboo is like a board.
Oh,
game.
the board game that was
Yeah.
adapted. I just remembered it was always in stock at Blockbuster.
Oh yeah, of course, because it fucking
No
sucks.
one wants that game. What's its actual name, Chris?
That and Karnov. But Karnov's actually kind of good. Okay.
Karnov's all right, man. Yes, the Battle Arena showcases all 4 colored dragon statues. We are fighting in the very center.
Excuse me, there's 6, Eric.
That's right. Yeah, pop that beer, son. There it is.
Yes.
Oh, like the black and white video.
Yeah, exactly. And then when this, I don't know what you were.
Michael Jackson.
Oh, like the black. Gotcha.
Black or white, excuse me.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, it don't matter.
Smash that car, son.
Don't put that song in the podcast.
No, I'm not.
We'll get takedown right
Nope.
away. Yeah. Of course. Right. So has he turned into? Hold on. I'm sorry. I did notice you doing some weird shit at one point, and I was like, "What's he doing here?" I'll have to try to figure it out next time. Okay.
Actually, yeah. I wonder if you put a song in backwards, if it'll hit some kind of. I mean, I don't really want to like highlight Michael Jackson. Period.
Yeah, I mean,
like, I only want to make fun of him because he ruined more people than he inspired. Well, maybe not, but bad guy.
That's a difficult conversation to have, right?
On a Chrono Cross podcast, sure.
Yeah, it's not one that we're equipped to have right here. So I was playing Smash Bros. I let my kids discover that there were items in the game in Smash Brothers. I thought I might have played with
Pandora's box, dog.
Yeah, but so I set up a rule set that has items on low or whatever, so we can play that occasionally. And
they know what the bat does yet?
They are fucking loving it because it's hilarious to them, like because they know all the Pokemon and the assist trophies. They obviously don't know very many of them because many of them are pretty obscure. But we were playing the two kids versus me, and I was close to being able to win, and I was making my final approach, and one of them pulled an assist trophy, and Dr. Wily came out
Dr.
in
Wily.
this little fucking UFO thing and just fucking destroyed me. So
does he do the eyebrows thing when he does that?
He has all kinds. He's pretty wild. That assist trophy.
As a purist, I've never played that game with assist trophies or items. So
it's not bad. I mean, especially if you're playing with your kids.
Well, it's bad though.
Also, I discovered a way I can now beat them. Time battles.
Oh, they can't deal with it.
Well, they can deal with it, but like there's 2 of them and 1 of me, so I have more knockout
more kills.
But I still only win about 30%.
So you're manipulating the rules to beat the shit out of your children.
Yeah. Also, they get really upset when I get a lead in stock, and now they don't know if I have a lead. So we can just finish the game, and they won't cry until the game's over instead of crying during the game.
Well, that sounds great, Chris.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, thanks for listening tonight.
Thanks for listening.
Outtakes are coming up. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on today, October 20th, 2020. Thank you, Mark, for the intro track. Find us on Twitter at Retro Amnesia. I'm not going to do this. This is horrible. It sounds like it sounds like I'm making fun of somebody with like a speech impediment, which is not what I'm trying to do. I'm going to do it regular. Okay.